What? What are you talking about?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Pixar facts that will ruin your childhood.
Somebody had run RM-Star on the drive where all of the Toy Story 2 files were kept, and things just started to disappear.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most surprising, and maybe even nightmare-inducing, behind-the-scenes Pixar movie trivia that has been reported. Which one of these facts left you shook? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. What Monsters, Inc. was originally going to be about. Monsters, Inc. There are some questionably scary plotlines in Monsters, Inc. A child is essentially taken, and there's a secret machine that could potentially kill someone. But overall, it's a sweet story about an unlikely friendship between a monster and a small human.
Did she disappear? Did she turn invisible? I just have no idea. Gotcha!
It could have been a lot different, though, if Disney went through with the original pitch for the movie. The initial idea was for a 30-year-old man to be haunted by monsters that he drew as a kid.
Hey, that looks like Randall. Randall's your monster. You think he's gonna come through the closet and scare you. Oh boy, how do I explain this?
Since no one else can see them, the man thinks that he's going crazy. Ultimately, the plot was supposed to be about childhood fears that are not properly dealt with. That is certainly scarier than what the film turned into.
That's it. I'm out of ideas. We're closed.
Number 9. William H. Macy was supposed to voice Marlin, Finding Nemo. It's hard to imagine anyone other than Albert Brooks voicing Marlin in Finding Nemo, but in reality, Shameless star William H. Macy was cast in the role first.
A little over 200.
Why always the deception stutter step before the truth?
Because it extends our quality father-daughter time.
He actually recorded many lines for Nemo's overprotective dad before getting cut from the film. According to reports, Macy's performance was found to be too serious in an early screening of the movie.
I don't get it.
Well, clownfish is not that funny.
So despite all that work being done, they turned to actor and comedian Brooks to lighten up the character. And while we love Macy, he's much more suited to play the rough-around-the-edges Gallagher patriarch Frank than the lovable yet neurotic clownfish.
Is there a way to get us in there that involves swimming? I'm not a bird. I swim, she flies. Let's not mix it.
Number 8. Early Pixar was scandalous. Knick-Knack. Pixar has squeezed some adult jokes into their movies over the years, but one of their early shorts was deemed a little too adult. Before Pixar became the family-friendly animation studio, it was actually a hardware company trying to sell a graphics computer called the Pixar Image Computer. They produced a number of short films, one of which is called Knick-Knack, about travel souvenirs that come to life. The short follows a snowman from Alaska who is desperate to get out of his snow globe in order to be poolside with a busty bikini-clad souvenir from Miami. Her appearance, and also a mermaid's, was later edited to be more PG, but her original form can still be briefly seen in Toy Story 2. Number 7. That rat killing shop actually exists. Ratatouille. Food-loving rat Remy finds himself thrust into a fast-paced French restaurant after befriending a cooking-challenged employee named Linguini in Ratatouille. Remy's dad tries to ground him with a warning that rats can't trust humans.
Take a good long look, Remy. Now this is what happens when a rat gets a little too comfortable around humans.
He takes his son to a pest control shop where dozens of rodents are hanging from traps in the window. It was a pretty traumatizing moment for Remy and viewers alike.
We must live carefully. We look out for our own kind, Remy. When all is said and done, we're all we've got.
So you would likely be equally horrified to learn that a place like that really exists in Paris, and that it's become a bit of a tourist destination because of the Pixar movie. The shop is called Eau Rouge and has dead rats on display in its window. But don't worry, they're stuffed.
You're telling me that the future can only be more of this?
This is the way things are. You can't changed nature.
Number 6. A co-writer/director passed away while a film was still being made. Cars. Joe Ranft was a Disney and Pixar legend.
Master, the plans. Excellent, Igor.
He worked on a number of successful movies, from The Nightmare Before Christmas to the Toy Story franchise, even voicing a number of characters along the way. Unfortunately, in 2005, he was involved in a fatal car accident. Ranft was being driven down Highway 1 in Mendocino County, California, when his friend, who was also the driver, lost control. The vehicle went off a cliff and plunged into the Pacific Ocean, killing the driver and Ranft and injuring another passenger. His final film, of which he was a co-writer and co-director, was still in production at the time.
He was the heart and soul of Pixar. And he's a big part of why people connect so deeply with our movies.
That film was Cars, which followed a race car whose life changes when he stops in a small town, and was ultimately dedicated to Ranft. Number 5. A sequel was almost completely lost. Toy Story 2. We're not going to argue about what the best movie in the Toy Story franchise is, but Toy Story 2 is up there.
It's you! It's you! It's really you!
What's me?
It introduces Jessie and Bullseye and builds out a fun backstory for our beloved Woody. So imagine if this installment never existed. During production, a Pixar employee mistakenly entered a deletion command that wiped out the nearly completed film.
And then as we kept checking, he disappeared entirely. Woody's gone. Seconds later, looking up, the rest of the characters on the show, Buzz, Potato Head, Ham, and Rex, had all vanished. And soon after that, whole sequences, Toy Barn and Andy's Room, were disappearing off the disk drive.
You would think that an animation studio as big as Pixar would have a backup system, and they do. But that backup also failed. Fortunately, a supermom saved the day. Film producer Galen Sussman, then a supervising technical director for Pixar, recently had a baby and had a copy of the film on a home computer so she could work on it.
Thanks to Eli, my newborn baby Eli, and my need to work from home, we had a backup of Toy Story 2.
For Sussman, we will be forever grateful.
You have saved our lives. We are eternally grateful.
Number 4. Barbie was going to be a main love interest. Toy Story. At this point, most of us have seen Toy Story 4 and know that Bo Peep and Woody are endgame. Believe it or not, though, Barbie was actually supposed to be Woody's love interest.
Please keep your hands, arms, and accessories inside the car and no flash photography. Thank you.
I'm a married spud. I'm a married spud. I'm a married spud. For the single fellas.
The reason that plot point changed was because Mattel, the creator of Barbie, reportedly didn't think the original Toy Story would be a success. Boy, were they wrong. But imagine if Barbie had replaced Bo Peep. Would we still have had that fantastic Ken fashion show scene in Toy Story 3? And would Toy Story 4 even exist? We shudder to think about what that potential relationship could have done to the franchise.
What do you say I get someone else to watch the sheep tonight?
Hell yeah.
Remember, I'm just a couple of blocks away.
Number 3. Nemo branded caviar. Ratatouille. A fine dining establishment like Gusteau's is bound to have high-end products like caviar in their kitchen.
This is not gonna work, little chef. I'm gonna lose it if we do this anymore. We gotta figure out something else.
But did Pixar really have to take things that far? It's a blink and you'll miss it moment in Ratatouille, but eagle-eyed viewers will catch that the caviar tin in the restaurant's pantry is called Nemo brand.
We just need to work out a system so that I do what you want in a way that doesn't look like I'm being controlled by a tiny rat chef. Oh, would you listen to me? I'm insane, I'm insane, I'm insane!
Of course, real caviar is from sturgeon, not clownfish. But it's still a tough one to swallow considering Nemo's backstory.
Daddy's got you. I promise I will never let anything happen to you.
At least Pixar fans can rest easy knowing that the barracuda that devoured almost all of Marlin and Coral's eggs in Finding Nemo ended up stuffed on a wall in an antique shop in Toy Story 4. Number 2. One film's popularity negatively affected wild clownfish. Finding Nemo. Can this poor fish catch a break already? Finding Nemo was so popular when it came out that it led to more clownfish being purchased as pets, which reportedly put a stress on clownfish population.
Honey, your dad's probably back at the pet store.
Pet store?
Yeah, like, I'm from Bob's Fish Mart.
Pet Palace.
Fisherama.
Mail order!
eBay.
A foundation called Saving Nemo was even launched to encourage people to stop collecting wild fish.
Hey, little fella, say hello to your new mummy. She's gonna be here Friday to pick you up. You're her present. Oh, shh. It's our little secret.
If that wasn't bad enough, the film also led some kids to flush their pet fish down the toilet in an attempt to free them. Spoiler alert, most fish lose their lives after they're flushed due to the fresh water, the trauma, or both.
Is he gonna be okay, Gil? Don't worry. All drains lead to the ocean.
We don't even want to know what happened to any rats that people bought as pets after Ratatouille came out. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Woody, Ventriloquist Dummy vs. Cowboy, Toy Story. Can we all agree that the ventriloquist dummies in Toy Story 4 are what nightmares are made of? Our childhood could have been a lot more traumatizing if Pixar went through with their original idea to make Woody a ventriloquist dummy instead of a pull-string cowboy doll.
I'd like to join your posse, boys, but first I'm gonna sing a little song.
Buzz, as we know him today, didn't even exist in the first script. The movie was a buddy comedy with a one-man band tin toy named Tinny instead. Fortunately, they ultimately came up with the toy duo that everyone has come to know and love. But hey, the initial concept may make a great Halloween special if they wanted to do a follow-up to Toy Story of Terror.
Watch out! He's right behind you!
Hey, down in front!
Oh, sorry.
I'm coming to get you, Betsy.
Run, Betsy! Run!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.